Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. Tim, I'm wearing your t-shirt today. Today, I'm moving a fig tree. It's pretty early in the morning. The sun's been rising around 6 o'clock in the morning. It's nice and cool. It's only going to be in the 80s today, so not a bad time to move my fig tree. Plus, where it's going, it'll get morning sun, but it won't get the hot afternoon sun until it gets much bigger. So we're gonna go over, I'm gonna show it to you. We're gonna dig around the root ball and plant it. Now, I started this fig tree from just a little branch of a fig tree. And I rooted it and planted it in the garden this fall when we came down. And it was about this tall then. So let's go look at it. And we're gonna dig around it, move it, water it in good, and we're going to talk about figs. So here's my fig tree. It's beautiful, it's healthy, it's been growing by some zucchinis. And move it. See all the branches? I'm actually going to take, when I plant it, I'm going to cut off these branches and I'm going to root them. Now you can see this one has a fig on it. It'll probably drop since I'm going to transplant it. But I'm going to dig the hole that it's going to go in first before I ever dig this up. I've been watering it really well and it's extremely healthy. It likes where it is. But the problem is it doesn't have water in the garden in the summertime. So I need to move it where it can get watered in the heat of the summer. This is my side flower bed. Look at how tall those hollyhocks are. They must be almost 7 feet tall on some of them. But we are going to plant the fig in this area. And I'm actually going to plant it right down in here. You can see some carrots growing, some herbs growing, succulents. And it's in between two of the waters. The other one is around here someplace, probably under that lemongrass somewhere. It'll get a lot of water when it's the heat of the day. So I'm being careful when I'm digging because the water line is down there. And then we're going to dig around the fig and I'm just going to push it in all over the place and try to get where it will just come out really easily. And I'm just working the soil and going around, taking my time, gently pulling it, and there it goes. Look at that root system. And I'm going to clip off all of those small lower branches, and those are the things I'm going to root. And so I want to cut it at an angle, and if it's not a smooth cut, just cut again. You want it by a node though, if at all possible. And then I'm going to trim off all those extra leaves because they just are going to take energy away from the plant. And I'm just going to go through and I'm going to do every single one of them. And so I planted it in there. I have the watering system on so that it can really have a really good soak, which will always help it. I did put a stake in the ground at about 45-degree angle, and I hooked it with a tomato ring. And so it'll just help it if the wind comes up or it has any kind of stress. I put all of the leaves underneath so that they can decompose. So here they are in some water. You want to make sure that you have at least one node. Can you see that? At least one of the nodes in water. Now it's better to cut them, root them in the wintertime on the more hardwood. But my fig tree is so small, I don't actually have that except for on the actual trunk. And so figs are usually pretty easy to root in about 3 weeks. So I'm going to just set these with my tomatoes and my basil on the windowsill. And I'll change the water every couple days. And we'll see what kind of root action we can get with these. So here they are on the windowsill. And I'm looking at them and I think I'm going to trim them a little bit more. So here I have them trimmed even more. So they're just one leaf, and that big leaf I cut in half actually. And it'll just help it become strong. Now those cuttings should root in about 3 weeks. Once in a while it might take a month. But if you get some of them to root, it's great. If it's a failure for you, try again. because it's so worth it to get free plants, especially free trees that are going to give you fruit. So I did take them inside and I even trimmed them up more. See how I just left one leaf on each one? And in fact, this big leaf I cut in half, and it has another little leaf right there. So there wasn't as much stress and as much evaporation outside those leaves. Try it. I mean, that's how I did my tree that I have right now, and it is growing strong. As always, like, subscribe, share with the world. This is Sandy, and I will see you tomorrow. What's the video? Planting a lemon tree, pulling up a lemon tree, and why I'm doing it.